Hi, welcome to Mystic Frequency. I'm Lisa, and I'll be your collective tarot reader here today on February 6th, 2026. But no matter when this reading finds you and you click into it, there's something here your guides are trying to pass off to you, if you will. And you are more than welcome to jump into the description box below so you can go ahead and dive into the timestamp, and that'll get you immediately started into the reading while I get the rest of the intro out of the way. If today is your birthday, happy birthday. Thank you for making it another trip around the world with us today. Always here on this channel, I want my listeners to know that they do deserve to celebrate and find things to celebrate in their life. And a birthday is one of those things that you should celebrate. And leading into my disclaimers, remember I can only share wisdom that is coming through with the cards and your guides today. I cannot provide professional advice. But if there is an experience that I may have had in my own past or anything that I may have had to deal with, then I am more than okay sharing that with y'all. But this does not mean this is the only choice, the only thing you should be doing with your life. The wheel is always in your hands at all times. So drive it based on what your current situations are. Because if this reading starts to not resonate for you, there are a couple of reasons why. Either A, you have someone that is really close to you and your guides are using you like a radio signal since you are very tapped into your intuition. If you're here today listening to tarot and this reading called you, and this is one form of communication that they can get, especially to those that block themselves off from receiving guidance. So if you feel like you want to share this reading, you are more than welcome to share this reading. I highly encourage it. And secondly, if you start to notice that this reading is truly not resonating for you or anyone that is around you, you are at least being given a tool that you can add to your belt. So if you do come across this situation or you come across someone that goes through this situation, you will be able to share the wisdom that is given today. But I'm excited for this reading, guys. So let's go ahead and dive into your astrology friend for the day. So we have Gemini coming through. Now, you do not have to have Gemini as your main sun sign or in your charts in order for this to resonate. But Gemini is coming through because you may feel a little bit curious about something in your life, or you're just wanting to learn something. Your mind is begging for it to be fed with a lot of information and knowledge. And whatever information you are being given or what you gain today, you're wanting to do something with it. So your social networking may be impacted and you want to connect with others. Now, if you are someone that is blocked off from, using your words, maybe you're really shy. Well, this is energy that is trying to kind of like get you out of your shell and start networking, start talking, start communicating, opening up and letting others see what's going on in your mind, especially if you're a closed book. But I do feel a lot of people are trying to connect with you. They see this mountain that you may have up around you, this fortress, and they're trying to determine how can they actually speak to you. And I will say, because of this Gemini energy coming in, you are very intelligent. And one of the best ways to even talk to you is by investing in your own interests that you're interested in. And that forms a connection in order for them to be able to fly and go to this peak where you may be currently. But Gemini, they want to learn a little bit about everything. They're very curious, chatty cats. And you may have someone that is very, very intuitive and inquisitive around you if this starts to sound like someone else you're around. And they have these, like I said, they have these clear channels of information and they want to share information. So oftentimes, if you're trying to keep a secret, you may not want to try to reveal a secret to someone. Now, for the right reasons, yes, share things that you don't want to have on your chest any longer, but know who you are sharing this information with, and if they're going to take this information and misuse it in a negative way. But this is wanting you to seek new experiences, actually explore things. If you've been doing maybe you have one hobby, well, you may be feeling like maybe I should do something else maybe I should try a new hobby, or this hobby I have, can I do anything else with it? What are other people doing with this? And opening up. You may have a Pinterest or interested in looking at Pinterest things in order to find a connection with another who has similar passions like you do. Multitasking is one thing that Geminis are really good at. When they find that their mind is all over the place, it's hard for them to kind of sit down and focus on what it is that they should be doing. But if they have a list of things to do, they are going to try to get them all done at the same time. So this is somebody that would rather use a stone to knock out two birds, if you will, not this bird. I didn't want him to feel threatened, but so this can make them very difficult to pin down because their wheels are always spinning in their mind, and they're all over the place, and you may find them in a different energy source, or when they are doing a project and you were like, oh wow, they're doing something that's kind of interesting, and then the next day you ask them about that project and they're like, oh, I forgot all I was even doing that. I'm doing something completely totally different now. And so I would check in on your Gemini friends, check in on them to make sure they're doing well, because this can be very frustrating when they have a lot of things kind of like being set off to the side around them. This energy, it does remind me of Aries energy, where they have a thought in their mind and then they take off. Whereas, but with Aries, it's that one thing that they are strictly focused on. And Gemini, it's all these other things that are going on around them that they are focusing on. But one of the benefits is being able to network if you are not able to accomplish something, seeing who can help you with that workload. But this card wants you to find ways to develop deep connections, but also finding ways to have detachment, so that way you are not draining your energy on something that you need to have. It needs a light energy to come in. So light up, maybe not be so serious. And I did think of, whenever I was channeling this energy and journaling, I heard Bohemian Rhapsody. So that song may be very significant to some or a few, but I kept hearing open your mind and just opening up your mind, opening your eyes up and communicating with what it is that you were seeing. And, easy come, easy go, little high, little low. We find that we are that wheel constantly spinning. So I encourage you to listen to that song if you haven't heard it in a while. I know it's really long. But if you are restless today, learn to feed your mind, learn ways to inspire it, and ways to share your ideas when they start to get stuck up. And then when you do so, then you can actually open that mind up if you have a lot of thoughts and things going on. But I am excited for Gemini coming through this reading today. So if you feel like a chatty Cathy, or if you start to notice I'm starting to feel like a chatty Cathy, that makes a lot of sense here. But let's go ahead and dive into your main focus right now. And I love that we have the Queen of Cups coming through. And I felt called to use these cards because this energy is wanting you to find ways to let things pass through you. So let life pass through you and not hold on to you. Just like these cards are kind of like very transparent with their energy. So the Queen of Cups has this ability, and this may be you holding this energy, or even someone that may be around you anytime we have a court card. But this is someone that has the ability to listen to others with their heart, who can sense the needs of others and tune into it with their own intuition. And they allow space to be held for others, so that way they can express their emotions and be the truest, most authentic self of themselves. People around you will come up to you and they may not even know you. They don't have all they know is there's a connection here between you and them, and they felt a need to network with you and share their issues, their their inspirations, the things that they are creating themselves, because you are someone that is multitasking in this moment, if this reading is resonating. But you are finding that through you, people are finding ways to create and express themselves and open up more with themselves too, by holding a place that feels very, very sensitive but non-judgmental. And there's with the Queen of Cups, always remember, especially with Gemini coming in, to be well grounded so you do not take on other people's energy or emotional issues and hold it as if it's your own. So you need to have that healthy separation here, that healthy detachment, and know that you do have the right solutions when it comes to other people's relationships and their emotions. And if you needed a solution for your own relationship, you know that you're going to be able to discover what that may be, because you are in tune with your heart. One of the greatest things that you could be focusing on right now is using cycles, especially the moon cycles, in order to manifest your goals and live dreams that especially if your subconscious is coming through with a project that you're wanting to lift up off the ground. And it's just, you can see it in your cup, and it's like, how can I do this? How can I plant this seed so that way I can get started and communicate with those around me? But you may also be trying to find the right words to a certain situation right now. And you may find that you are this healer, this counselor, this intuitive coach for another. But ultimately, the Queen of Cups is someone that is a very good friend, someone that is just very compassionate and caring. This is the nurturing mother. And you may have someone around you that is your nurturing mother. And you may be wanting to call them up and say, hey, I haven't heard from you in a good minute. How are you doing? And they may even, it's like maybe they're worried about loading onto you because you have a lot going on around you already. But just hearing your voice it's just like they want to drink it in. They want to hear your voice and drink it in and get that healing elixir that you have, that you constantly offer to others. But you always keep your cup, in other cards that I've had one card where the queen has her hand over the cup. So knowing that healthy balance from who can, not so much take from your energy, but protecting your own energy so that way others don't try to pour unnecessary liquids into your own cup. But key here is trust your intuition and pay attention to your feelings and emotions in this moment, and actually feel the feels. If you have been blocking yourself off from feeling anything, feel the feels, even if it feels tricky or challenging, or if you're just not someone that really taps into this nurturing mother energy. I can see someone, if you are someone that normally wouldn't find themselves in a situation where I just seen someone be handed a baby and you're being asked to soothe and comfort this child, and this Queen of Cups is like, you never knew that you had this ability about you, that you can provide soothing comfort to those that haven't even developed their own mind, their own personality. It's just your energy itself is very nurturing. But let's go ahead and look at the animal guides that are coming through to help kind of channel this Queen of Cups energy to help you focus. So we have sea turtle in protection. You're the master at finding your own life's flow. So allow yourself to be in harmony with the rhythm, and your path will unfold by doing so. Persevere, and you will find that you will have a lot of success in the process, and you will have everything you need in order to feel protected and happy while you are going along this journey. And these sea turtles, whenever it comes up, I always like to talk about the fact that, they lay their eggs in abundance. So that way there is a possibility for them to be able to pass on their own genetics and be able to pass on, it's almost like their own life force. because they know that there are things around them that would come in and sabotage who it's the cycle, the cycle of life where, rebirth and death. So making sure that you have enough emotional resources here in order to be able to give and nurture others and be able to create whatever it is that you are wanting to express. The ladybug is letting you know that you do have a lot of good luck on your side. You're very bright. You have this energy about you, and they want you to be able to let any kind of worries that may be going on around you go and just be happy in the here and now, letting life pass through you and not letting it hold you down, especially if the day before was bad or last week was just really terrible. The last month is really terrible. The last year was terrible. Not letting that hold you from being present. And feel good about being a loving and colorful version of yourself. Some people I remember seeing on social media about a parent that got upset with the teacher because the teacher was upset that the daughter did not color her ladybug red and black like a ladybug should be, and told her that the child did not follow instructions. But the queen is saying, well, what were the instructions? The instructions were to color the animals, and so she did. So trying not to finding your voice, and if someone does give you instructions to do something a specific way, and you do them, but you do them in your own way, don't let someone try to pin you down or, make you feel bad about that. That's their own fault for not being specific and saying you should have painted this ladybug red and black, and there are orange ladybugs. There are different colored ladybugs out there. I would rather see a rainbow ladybug if I'm being honest, but you bless the world with color and good luck. So let those help you today. And then your heart, or your or your heart's focus, if I will. We have the King of Swords in reverse. So the king here within your heart is wanting you to see that you have this quiet power that you may have not been using. You may not be the loudest person in the room or even feel as if you are visible right now. Hence the reason why Gemini is coming through, because they want you to open up, actually speak up, be able to share your ideas with others, and know that you really do have a lot to share and contribute in your own very unique way, that you do have power and authority, and those alone come from within you. And you need to trust in yourself. You need to have this unwavering belief that you do have something to commit here. You do have something to give of yourself, and you do have a lot of value. So see your value, see what it is that makes you worthy today, and try not to let others steer you off course. Stand in your truth. That is one of the key things that is being shared here with the King of Swords. Now, on the flip side, with the King of Swords coming through, there is a person around you that is currently holding a lot of strings. They're pulling a lot of strings with your heart right now, and they may be misusing their own power. And this is causing you to feel like you need to shrink your voice around them. This could be somebody, if you're somebody that's very shy, and you find that when you're working with someone that has a louder voice than you, or when you try to speak up, their voice is just constantly louder than you. I will say that the best way to get around those people is if you can't even communicate your own ideas, your own opinions, your own, verbal expression, then don't even entertain them if they don't provide that space for you, and they may expect you to get louder than they are. But the key point here, I always find, especially since I've worked in retail, is when you are talking to someone that has their mind already made up and they're not going to take anybody else's viewpoint, is to not match that energy and to get softer until the point where you need to walk away from them, because there's no use in feeding that kind of energy. But this person it's like they've gone to their head with ego running the show. So they're all in their head and they're letting their mind run the show here, and they're not actually taking the time to notice that right now nobody is listening to them. And you may be someone that they constantly go to because you have that open door for others where you are trying to listen to others compassionately. But it's like they don't want advice. They just want someone to hear them talk. Hear them talk and talk and talk all day long. And so when they want something from someone, if you're around somebody that wants something from you, but it's not in your best, it's like it's not something you want to do in the moment. It's not, you don't have that time on your plate. It's just you are already working on these other things that you have going on if you're trying to multitask, and this person is trying to get you to do what it is that they want. They want you to drop everything that you're doing just to focus on what they want to do in this moment. Now, if this is maybe, this could be a friend or even a relationship, since we're talking about the heart space, but start to notice if they are becoming very manipulative or use very strong persuasion to get what they want or what they need. And if they are denied, they find ways to get it anyways. They get what they want by withdrawing either their love for you, and you can actually feel it. They may even stop having sex with you or support, or as means to basically punish you if they don't get what they want. So if that is the case, I want you to be this queen who can walk away from those who would try to manipulate her caring nature, and know that you should not be the mothering this kind of energy, because all you're doing is feeding that ego for this person, and your guides are saying, hey, no, don't feed them. They're already full of themselves as it is. And this person is, you may feel as if they're using their intelligence to make others feel inferior or at a disadvantage. My husband, one of his pet peeves is when he is working with someone that believes they know a lot about something, but they actually don't. And then they come into his energy field, and then I love it. It's one of the things I love about my husband, but he's, he shows them, no, that is not all there is to know about whatever it is they're talking about. Or he'll even say, where do you get your facts from? Where do you get your facts from? Do you get it only on internet? Where's your sources coming from? Do you only believe what it is that's shared on Facebook? Do you find that you're in or not even Facebook, just a social media platform where you only take in what it is that you're wanting to hear? But, if this is, okay, Spirit, yes. If someone knows a lot and you know more than they do, ask them, where did you go to get that information from? If you want to hear where it's coming from, like if they got it from the wrong source, or this person comes to you because they thought that they heard something about you, but you're like, oh, you seem to be entertaining something that I did not know was even around me. So you're looking at your social network now and understanding, okay, who is really my friend and who is not my friend. But big words or topics no one knows about cuts people verbally. They may even feel stern, critical, or really this person is only doing harm more than they are doing good. And if the other thing the King of Swords can come in through for you today is if you find that your mind is scattered, or if you're panicky or uncertain about something or what to do in a situation, open up, go to someone that knows more than you do. That is key here. But be wary of the King of Swords if there is someone who is not letting you stand in your truth or is taking advantage of you. The animal that is going to help you with this is the loon. Intuitive. Listen to the song in your soul. Listen to what is actually playing within you. Is something off tune? Do the strings need to be stretched? Do they need new strings, but trust your intuition, as you really do have a way of knowing, especially with the King of or the Queen of Cups coming through. But allow yourself to emerge from a busy life so that way you can seek more solitude. If you have been someone that has been around a lot of people, you've had a lot of celebrations going on, either holidays, whatever the case may be. But if you've been around a lot and you've taken on quite a bit, and you just want to take your coffee to your room or your drink to your room, so that way you can seek some solitude and ground yourself, do so, because that's gonna help you stop feeding this King of Swords in reverse. But recognize that you are unique and that you are very loved. People really do love your Queen of Cups energy. And then let's see what's next. Oh, yes, subconscious. So we have the Ace of Wands in reverse. So needing to find a clear outlet to express your ideas or yourself clearly to others. And you may be waiting for something to come through, something else to happen before you actually do something with this energy. You may be wanting this person to rat themselves out on their own accord, but I feel like you should not. If this person is taking too much of your energy anyways, or when you try to share your ideas with this person, and they just keep deflating it or making you feel unmotivated to even do anything, or they just strip your confidence away or say that's a dumb idea. Why are you even doing that? Why are you only listening to your heart? Why do you keep, it's like they're very negative. So allow yourself to have a clear direction about what it is that you want, especially if you're keeping this to yourself and unsure of how to get it up off the ground. But have a clear direction so that way you have all this multitasking energy coming in and it's not sapping you or leaving you uninspired. And really think about where your true passions are. If someone has been feeding their passions to you without you exploring your own passions, then now is a good time to step away for that solitude the loon was talking about, and make them your own. Make them your own. Or maybe you have seen others and it's like, oh, that's their thing. That can't be my thing. And then if you were to try it, you would understand that maybe that is something that you can do. Give those, it's like a delicious taste test is what I'm hearing. A delicious taste test that you're going to drink in and find that it inspires you. But harness your creative energy in here because you want to explore new experiences in this moment. And honestly, there's no point in working towards a goal if it doesn't motivate you. So align yourself to the goals that you actually want, not someone else's goal, not someone else's agenda, not someone else's plan that they have going on. And when you find that you're restless and you're worried about, trying to do something when you don't have the right energy to do so, those cycles I was talking about with the Queen of Cups, then allow yourself to say, okay, well, I can't do anything about it right now, but later I should be able to do something when I'm more clear and I've thought out an actual plan or a step in order to really take advantage of this Ace of Wands energy that wants to come in. And the animal cards that are coming in to help with this, we have Orca Whale, Adventure. So allow yourself to do things a little bit more differently. Sing your wild song. I want to say that was in, yes, listen to the song in your soul and then sing whatever that wild song is. Manifest your travel dreams if you're wanting to travel. If you're wanting to explore and go to different countries or even, experience different cultures, because Gemini energy, they love cultures. They love learning about all sorts of different cultures because it makes their mind grow even further and helps them connect with others on a much more deeper level. So manifest your travel dreams. Attempt the great journey with confidence. Be loyal to yourself. Be loyal to your friends and your families because those are your treasures. And be brave in this moment because you are more powerful than you think. You have this quiet power that the King of Swords is talking about, and wants you to contribute this with those that you really care about. And then we have butterfly coming through again. Rebirth. You can reinvent yourself when something doesn't work out for you, or you find that an old model is not working. Reinvent yourself. Open to the rewards of changing, because these people, the Geminis, they love changing. They will change their mind. They will change their outlook on life. They will change things if it is not working for them. And you have brilliance to share with the world. Another confirmation here of wanting to share a piece of you with the whole world, and just love every part of your journey. Love every piece of it, all the mountains, all the obstacles, all the dilemmas, the delays. Especially if you have felt that there has been a delay here, actually love that you do have a delay. Actually love that you can spend some time to yourself to think and develop a plan of what it is that you actually want to spend your time in. Your affirmation here today is, I am kind to myself. Be kind to yourself. Even when you have this inner critic, or this critic that someone may be or somebody that is very critical of themselves, so they're very critical of others, don't allow yourself to hold what they think or the perceptions of others. I thought about this today whenever I was thinking about my grandmother, and how I have a different relationship with my grandmother than the relationship that my mom had with her grandmother, or her mom, and then my grandfather had a different relationship with my grandmother, and her siblings had a different relationship with her. So be very kind to yourself, because you hold a lot of different spaces, different places in other people's hearts, and it's so hard to please others and help find solutions for them if they're not wanting a solution. They just want a little bit of kindness. So give yourself a little bit of kindness today when others don't want to listen to what you have to say, or if someone is not allowing you to express yourself, then be kind so that way you can step away. And then your love oracle, self-care oracle, is chin to chest and stretch the back of your neck. And if you've been really tense, not feeling the feels, actually stretch yourself. Allow yourself to stretch, especially if something has just been weighing down on you. But let your body move. Your body will know where it wants to go if you just let it do what it wants to do. But that is your reading, my dears. If you enjoyed this content and would like to see more, please comment, like, and subscribe. And let me know, where do you want to travel to? What are some of your travel dreams? I know I've got a lot on my list. Like, I want to go to Iceland. I want to go to Botswana. I want to go to Greece and Turkey and Ireland. I want to go see all these different places that are in the world, especially if they're really old and they have caves. But I'm ending it here, guys. Bye.